So, recently, I've been enjoying playing Sonic Colors Ultimate on the Nintendo Switch. It's a game that's been heavily controversial within the community for a variety of reasons, but today, I'm going to go solely by my experiences and what happened to me while playing the game. So, let's start off on a simple note with the story, like most people do. The story in Sonic Colors is extremely basic, and I'll have to admit, it's not even close to as point as the writing in Sonic Unleashed, or other games like Sonic Adventure 1 or 2. It's targeted purely as kids, and that's okay because the cutscenes are fully skippable, and it doesn't detract from my experience, but it kinda does leave you wishing like there was more to be had there. The narrative sticks around Sonic and Tails going to stop Eggman from using the WISPs and their hyper-go-on energy, and yada yada yada. Everyone knows the plot to this game. It's basic, it's simple, it's easy to remember, and one thing I wanted to touch on were the jokes, because Sonic Colors had some very, very bad jokes. They were cheesy, it's just, the writing is clearly marketed towards young kids, and I don't think that should become Sonic's standard. Sonic the Hedgehog is a franchise that's always been enjoyed by critics, fans, well, not really critics, but Sonic the Hedgehog is a series that can be enjoyed by people of all ages. And to see that this new kid-friendly direction with the Sonic movie and Sonic Colors Ultimate, it's not great to see because the stories are just devolving over time. And hopefully the next Sonic game, Sonic Rangers, as it's allegedly called in 2022, can fix that and have a truly ambitious story like the games of the past. So, now that we've quickly gone over the story, let's talk about the visuals and the music. The music in this game is top-notch. Some people say that the remixes sort of detract from the original and there should have been a toggle to switch back to the original soundtrack, and to be honest, I completely agree with that. There should have been a toggle in this game to switch back between the original and remixed music, but having 3 acts have the remixed music and 3 acts have the original music is a good enough compromise for me, but I know a lot of other people aren't satisfied with this. However, I think the remixes sound great, especially tracks like Asteroid Coaster Act 3, Jun Sonoi's take on Terminal Velocity. The new Sweet Mountain remixes are amazing, and Starlight Carnival is also pretty good. The tracks in this game are overall really good, but Planet Wisp's Act 1 remix sort of ruins the atmosphere of the level, as I'm sure many people have said already. But also, Planet Wisp Act 2 totally makes up for it because that remix is amazing. So, now that we've quickly gone over the music, let's talk about the visuals, and we're going to be talking a lot because Sonic Colors Ultimate changed up the visuals a lot from the base game. On the surface, they might seem the same, but there have been a lot of tweaks made, presumably because of the different lighting engine that Blind Squirrel Games used to make Sonic Colors Ultimate. Personally, I'm a pretty big fan of the new visuals. I like that things look a bit darker now, helps balance things out a bit. Everything looks a lot more clear and crisp and detailed than the original. And even emulated, on an emulator you can still see it's just a Wii game up-res. In Sonic Colors Ultimate, it really does look like it's a new game brought into this generation. Although some areas in Tropical Resort look a bit dark, and the Laser Wisp, especially, they darken that so you can sort of barely see the pointer where the Laser Wisp is supposed to be aimed at, and that's a bit annoying. But still, areas like Sweet Mountain with the new gorgeous light rays coming from the ceiling are beautiful, and Planet Wisp as well, Aquarium Park, they've all been done really well, and have been done justice on modern platforms. Everything's upscaled, and now runs at 4K 60 on most platforms other than the Switch, which runs at 900p docked at 30 FPS, which is a bit disappointing, but it's perfectly manageable and the FPS is really stable. With slight dips here and there, specifically when using the Frenzy Wisp, and the opening to Planet Wisp Act 1. But most of the time, it's pretty stable. Now, as for the visual glitches that a lot of people have encountered, I didn't run into many of them, other than the glitch where Sonic just floats down from the sky in Act 3 of Starlight Carnival, but other than that, I encountered a bit of poppin', but not much else that detracted from the gameplay experience. I didn't see any flickering in Planet Wisp, I didn't see any darkened result screens, and this is purely based on my experience. Your experience with this game could have been different, so let me know in the comments below if you had a worse experience playing this game. But I played on the Nintendo Switch, and I've been having a great time with this game. I've been really enjoying myself. And the visuals, I think, are better than the original in most scenarios, although some places, well, the darkness really doesn't work, like some areas in Tropical Resort. But mostly, the new lighting looks great, although the bloom is a bit much especially in Starlight Carnival. That place is really light, and I don't enjoy it a lot, but it doesn't detract from the experience too much. And the inside of the ships totally makes up for it, because that's pretty good. Now I'm going to talk about the gameplay and the game-breaking glitches that some people have experienced. Now, personally, I played on the Switch version after the glitches were patched out, so I didn't run into anything major. Now, your experience might be totally different, and I understand, but I'm judging this based on what I experienced, and Sonic Colors Ultimate runs at a perfectly stable 30 FPS, with very minimal dips, and just one or two glitches here and there that could easily be patched out at a later date. Now, personally, the gameplay of this game is really enjoyable for me. I really like the boost. The drift is kind of much worse than Unleashed Generations, though. The Wisps, especially, give this game a nice bit of flavor that surely won't get reused in the next few games, eh? Oh well. Wisps aside, the platforming in this game is pretty good. Although Sonic never feels truly amazing to control, the controls do work just fine enough so that the platforming is precise enough. And in 3D, he controls perfectly. The boost is great, and the new perfect homing attack mechanic adds in a bit more strategy to your homing attacks, and also gives you more boost when you're running down narrow pathways, when in the original you'd often run out of boost at the worst times. Sonic Colors Ultimate plays pretty much almost the same as the original, with just a few slight tweaks here and there. The enemy fall speed has been increased by quite a bit, and I find that kind of annoying, but it's not a big deal, and the sections where this happens are few and far between. Also, the spikes that the enemy throws out in Planet Wisp, those go out at an uncontrollable speed, and that was kind of annoying. Also, the difficulty has been made slightly easier thanks to the new Tails save mechanic. Now, personally, I think this is a great feature for people who are just getting into the game, people who are playing Sonic for the first time, which is obviously this game's main target because of people who were brought in by the Sonic movie, and because of people who will be brought in by the Sonic movie 2, coming out in 2022, in April. Correct me if I'm wrong on that. So, Sonic Colors Ultimate made the game a bit easier, but I don't have a problem with this. Tails save is generally a bit broken in some cases and can be used to completely glitch out some levels. It didn't happen to me, but normally I just forgot that Tails save existed, and then just moved on as if it was a regular Sonic game, which is perfectly fine. Tails save, yeah, it could have been made optional, but it doesn't detract from the experience for me, like, at all. Now onto the new perk tokens that you use to customize Sonic. Now this is the direction I'm very glad that the series is heading in, with the Avatar and Sonic Forces, and now Sonic Colors having customizables for Sonic. This is a great idea and should be instituted into many more Sonic games. Although maybe in Sonic Rangers there should be a bit more effort put in. Although Sonic Colors Ultimate is perfectly serviceable as a base level customization of Sonic. Some of the auras look really nice. I like the Ice Aura or the Dark Aura you get after beating Metal Sonic in the Rival Rush races, which we'll be covering next. And while the customization may be simply either color swaps or a few nice designs, it certainly goes a long way towards making this game more fun to replay. And another thing making this game more fun to replay is the Metal Sonic Rival Rush races. Now, aside from having pretty bad UI, these are actually really fun and challenging additions to the game that, I think, were a perfectly serviceable solution. They added a bit of challenge, they were genuinely hard to beat in some cases, although Metal Sonic's animation is kind of rough, it needs a bit of work, and in Tropical Resort, one of the trackers just doesn't work sometimes. So, overall, Metal Sonic Races are perfectly serviceable time trial mode that maybe could have used an online leaderboard or maybe multiplayer when one player races as Metal Sonic, another player races as Sonic, but I digress. Overall, Sonic Colors is a perfectly fun time throughout the world of Eggman's Interstellar Amusement Park. The story leaves a decent amount to be desired, but none of the things that they added in the remaster for me draws away from the experience. And most of all, it's a really fun game to play, and I think it's better than the remaster. Although, one more thing that I forgot to cover is the Jade Ghost Wisp, which seems fitting that I forgot about it because it seems very tacked on and was just given as an excuse for Rise of the Wisps to cover. It's not included in the intro animation or the ending battle, it's just there. It provides some cool alternate paths, and that's about it. Sometimes it can be a bit clunky, but most of all, it's just there, and it's perfectly serviceable the way it is. Sonic Colors Ultimate is a perfectly great game for me. I didn't encounter any game-breaking glitches. The glitches I did encounter were very small and didn't impact my experience. I think the game looks and sounds far superior to the original, and overall, I'd give it about an 8.5 out of 10. I had a lot of fun with this game, and it's leaving me looking forward to what's going on in the future with Sonic, especially with the movie and Sonic Rangers. However, my experience is probably one that you didn't have. A lot of people have encountered these game-breaking glitches that some were faked, but the glitch can be replicated on real hardware, so don't fool yourself into that people have faked the glitches just to make Sonic look bad. The glitches are real, but now they've been patched, at least some of them were, especially the seizure glitches, and overall, this game is a pretty fun time. Although it has some flaws like laggy menus, and a few small glitches it brings to the table, overall, it brings enough over the original and at a lower price tag than the original for me to justify a purchase. If you've been hesitating on this game based on people encountering glitches, go pick it up for yourself, because if there's one thing I learned is, you should always experience something for yourself first, without forming an opinion based on other people's opinions, that you never know could be lying or could not be lying. Sonic Colors Ultimate is a great game that I'd recommend to people if you're comfortable with the risk that it might not be as perfect as I described it as. For me, I'd rate it an 8.5 out of 10, with some drawbacks being the story, the menus, the visual glitches, and that's just about it. Overall, the game is really good, really fun, and I had a blast playing it. But, understandably, that may not be the case for everyone. So, it's up to you if you want to pick it up. I'd say, at a cheaper price tag than the original, it's pretty much worth it right now. But if you want, you can wait for 1 or 2 more patches to drop just to fix more of the bugs, or pick it up on Xbox One or PC. Thanks for watching, Davron, signing off.